My pregnant girlfriend's friend is ruining our relationship, so I gave her an ultimatum.
Either you're not friends anymore or else.
My girlfriend, Jen, and I have been together for 4 years. Back in April, 2 great things happened. We found out Jen is pregnant.
Woo!
And I closed on a house for us to move into. Wow.
Woo!
Great combo.
Double win.
Our family and friends know about the pregnancy, including Jen's best childhood friend, Amanda. I'll admit, I never liked the dynamic between Amanda and Jen, but it did really not affect our relationship since Amanda lived across the country. By the way, this comes from user JazzLikeMail1635, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Riley.
And OP says, after finding out about the pregnancy, Amanda decided to move back home. We still live in Jen and Amanda's hometown. Amanda has been back since late May, and everything has gone haywire.
Uh-oh.
Jen has always felt a little self-conscious in our relationship. I work construction and do personal training. She feels intimidated by small girls, but I have no idea why. She is a smexy woman with amazing curves.
Well, now I'm just imagining like a little like 6-year-old girl like walking and she's like,
It's like, I don't know why she's afraid of all of these small
These
girls.
small girls.
All of these.
Like
Anyone under the size of 3'5".
Like a Girl Scout comes up and is like, hey, do you want to buy some cookies? She's like,
Anything to make you leave.
please.
Get away from me. Amanda has done nothing but played into Jen's insecurities and anxieties since being back. Jen and I have never been the tracking location couple or looking through phones couple. We always considered that a red flag in a relationship. Amanda has convinced Jen that she needs to start doing that. So she's been looking through my phone on a regular basis, finding nothing.
Yikes. Huge red flag. I'm sorry. What? She's looking through your phone? No.
Well, if you've got nothing to hide, then what's the problem?
Bye.
Well, if you've got nothing to hide, why can't I look through your whole phone?
Let me see it. Give it here. Give it here,
That's my
Malfoy.
sarcastic voice.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell. That was
I
Dakota
don't
being
agree.
sarcastic.
I don't agree with this sentiment. So, I have communicated my hurt and frustration and that I think she needs to distance herself from Amanda, but she keeps rebuffing my concerns. About 2 weeks ago, Jen again asked to look through my phone. I told her in no uncertain terms that this will be the last time she looks through my phone. If she again sees nothing suspicious, then she needs to agree to go to counseling and distance herself from Amanda. She agreed, looked through my phone, found nothing suspicious, but she soon reneged on her promise to do counseling and distancing herself from Amanda. I decided to move out. We are currently on a month-to-month lease in an apartment until renovations get done on the house I bought. I'm staying with a friend until the house is ready, and then I will move in alone. Jen has asked me to reconsider, but I refuse. She would likely need to move in with her mother, which is not ideal given the limited space, which I feel terrible about for my child. Am I the a-hole? And there's an edit. A little bit, maybe. Maybe a little bit.
Say more about that.
Maybe a little. I don't know. It's clearly just this one thing with her friend. I
Yeah.
think
But
separating over it is
but-
kind of wild.
But the thing is, to me, I'm like, well, okay, I don't think that she should jump to separation because they got a kid on the way. She's pregnant. However,
and that-
she's
yeah.
looking through his phone. She's demanding to look through his phone as well. Those aren't great signs.
But
That's
it was
pretty
like
bad.
with consent.
Which-
it was like,
but
but
he
why
also
are we
said
doing
she
this?
looked through his phone, like she had taken his phone and looked through it, which implied to me, I could be reading that wrong, that she had done it without his consent too.
It's clearly an Amanda problem.
Absolutely,
If you break
absolutely.
up with your partner over this.
I don't think he should because she's literally pregnant. They're about to have a
Amanda
baby.
wins
I think
if
they
you
can
do
win. Not win. I think they can get through this.
Amanda wins.
Amanda wins.
She'll go, see, he broke up with you because he knew you were
Yeah.
on to him.
Yeah. I feel like we can get through this if we go to a therapist or something. But I do think it is a huge red flag that she's looking through the phone and listening to
I think
Amanda.
it should be counseling or we're not doing this.
I agree.
Edit. I am fully aware that Jen has raging hormones. Trust me, I was dealing with a lot more than just her insistence on searching my phone constantly. 2, I have been doing individual counseling for 6 years. I want to do couples counseling and Jen to do individual counseling. 3, I left because Jen lied to me. Verdict, I don't know. People are supportive. Let's see. What do these comments have to say? What do you got to say, Riley?
What are you giggling about?
It's like, I know that her hormones are raging.
I know she has raging hormones. I know she's a raging witch. You don't have to tell me. Jeez, OP, we get it. Dustin Daly says, plus he went through all the proper steps to try and save the relationship. She still didn't accept it. Which, yeah, I mean, like, she's not accepting therapy.
It just seems very abrupt. It's like, yeah, he went through all the steps, but it's like, maybe like, I don't know.
I just
give it a little more time.
That's what I think. I think she's pregnant. She's got hormones. She is a problem. Like, she's being a problem right now. She's doing problematic things. I just think that, like, let's see if we can exhaust all resources before we jump to separation because you have a kid on the way and we know what the problem is.
Yeah, why don't
I just want to point out, like, OP, she is in the wrong.
Why don't we flip the logic? Be like, can I actually look through your phone?
Yeah.
Because I heard that a lot of people who project cheating onto their partner are the ones doing it. So since I'm not cheating and you think I am so hard, I feel like you're cheating. And she'll be like, what? That's crazy. I'll be like,
well,
right?
Isn't it crazy? Funny that you say that.
Also, I guess I'm misinterpreting separation here. I'm thinking that it was just like done. We're cutting it.
No, I think that they're just like
it's like a trial separation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that they're leaving.
We've got some comments here. Glinda the Witch, tell her the counseling is still on the table, but don't live together until you get to a point where she trusts you and ditches her friend. Here's some more info. A thread where OP gives more info. Okay, the comment from Redditor is, you're the a-hole. Is this post even for real? You have a child on the way. Your girlfriend's hormones, anxiety, and insecurities are raging, and you've given her an ultimatum, then disappeared, leaving her alone and potentially having to move in with her mom. You say you've closed on a house, not a family home. You've closed on a house that you may or may not let her live in, depending on her behavior. I just feel sorry for this child, to be honest. Another downvoted comment says, can't believe this comment is so far down. OP is the a-hole for abandoning his pregnant girlfriend and child. Statistically, men cheat more while women are pregnant. And on top of that, pregnancy hormones take over emotions, rational thought, and physical changes. It's a trip. Counseling is a good idea. Medication might be too. Would also not hurt to have a mature, supportive partner instead of a tantrum-throwing, moves out of the house, abandoning buffoon. Does OP not realize there will be an actual baby now, so he has to stop acting like one? What happens when single dad OP has to deal with projectile poop from an infant? Will he leave the country?
I think that's a little bit unfair.
I always hate posts where it's like, well, what will the man do when the baby poops? It's like, clean the baby.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah, I went through the rest of that comment, and there's nothing from OP in any of that.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go to the next update, which is written by OP. 13 days later, Jen and I met up earlier this week to discuss our relationship after she had sent some text messages. She apologized for how she behaved towards me. She particularly apologized for how she behaved when I moved out of the apartment. She said she will definitively stop searching my phone if I moved back in. She also said she was ready to get engaged. She historically had been the holdup in us getting engaged or married.
Oh.
I asked why she had started searching my phone in the first place, and she said she really did not know. Well, we all know that it's Amanda.
Why, but I think she's just like, I don't know why I listened to her, maybe?
Jen said she has seen me get hit on before by girls in my personal training work and shut the women down even before we were dating. She trusted that I would do that generally, but she's feeling self-conscious about her body and thinks maybe I would be tempted to not do that now. Apparently, Amanda's ex was a guy who got hit on by girls and would shut them down in front of her, but was secretly cheating with some of them. Ooh. But I said, if you saw me rejecting these women before we were even dating, why would that change now? Why would I risk my license? She said she didn't have an answer. I told her that's why she needs counseling to explore that. I asked if in the 6 or so weeks of searching my phone at least every other day, if she saw anything from me to any other women that even hinted at romantic interest. She said no at first, then laughed and commented that I did send a heart emoji to a group chat with Jen to a picture of her mom in a dress she just bought. But she admitted she has no suspicion whatsoever that I'm trying to get with her mom. By the way, you can get your mom. to listen to full episodes with stories just like this one on Spotify or iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts, just search OK Storytime on your favorite podcast platform, and you can listen to over 72 days worth of stories. So we've got some more story. I like where we're at. Clearly, there was a bit of the pregnancy
Hullabaloo.
going on.
It's true.
Those were the sounds of pregnancy hormones.
I
Yeah.
think this is all getting solved. It seems like she's okay with therapy. Seems like she realizes that she didn't really have a reason for doing any of this and was just listening to the little worm tongue in her ear.
Grimma.
And sometimes you gotta get rid of that guy so that you can be the king of.
So you can return as the king. She said she's not ready for counseling and is not ready to give up on Amanda.
No,
but
not
she's
yummy.
going to move in with her mom in the next few weeks. I let her know that I cannot move back in with her until at least counseling is being started. She understood. I'm going to let the landlord know that we're terminating the lease at the end of September.
No.
She's sad we're not living together, but understood where I'm coming from. She gave me a hug and a kiss, and that was the end of the conversation. Her mom later texted and told me they had a long heart-to-heart about Jen and I's relationship. And there are some more comments here. Even Speech 570 says, Jen needs counseling like yesterday. OP needs to look into getting a lawyer because she's going to have this baby, and if she doesn't have her head on straight, by then, things can get really messy really fast. I wish you and your baby and Jen too the best moving forward. Redditor7, as she has no intention of changing or even pretending to. She's still refusing counseling and won't cut off a toxic influence she admits is affecting the relationship. She's made it very clear where her priorities are. OP needs to sit down with her, maybe her mom present as well, since she seems more rational, and discuss what custody is going to look like when the baby arrives. Make it clear she will not be keeping him from his kid or making all the decisions herself. Keep notes on everything she says, just in case. If they can't come to an amicable agreement now, get a lawyer involved ASAP. Another Redditor says, so basically she promised nothing but you are getting back together. OP replies, we are not getting back together.
I feel like we just read that. OP just explained that. Did you even read that update commenter?
Redditor 8. Then why are you talking about living together instead of how to split time and money for the baby? OP says, she asked me what it would take for me to consider living together again. I gave her my conditions. She is still refusing those conditions. We're at 22 weeks. We do not need to talk about custody and child support yet. Plus, I'm going to have my lawyer handle that when we get to that point. And that is the end of that story. Yeah, you don't have to rush into being like, yeah, I know that
Let's
the baby's
divorce.
like half cooked. Let's get a divorce and child custody agreement
right
laid out
now.
right now.
They're still trying to figure out if this is going to work.
Yeah, even
I don't
though
think
I've
we need
given
to
you
rush
a path.
to it not working.
Yeah, why don't we talk about going to counseling? Because why do you want to wait? Why do
Yeah.
you feel the need to wait to go to counseling?
What are you afraid
They're
of?
going to tell you the same thing whether you wait now or you go later
It's true.
or you go now.
Go now.
Your counselor's going to be like,
now.
hey, here's how I'm breaking that down.
Let
They're
me
gonna
break it
down
down
the
for
same
you.
way.
But folks, that's the end of that story. My boyfriend wants me to split maintenance costs for a boat I don't own.
That doesn't make no sense.
My boyfriend, 29 male of 6 years, wants me, 31 female, to start paying half of all maintenance costs to a boat he bought at the beginning of our relationship. We use the boat pretty consistently throughout the season, and the current agreement has always been I buy any drinks, food, snacks, and he buys the gas when we go out. 75% of the time, our friends are also coming out with us and giving him either money or adult soda to contribute to gas. For context, it's a 19-foot boat, so the cost to fill up the tank each time is relatively low. By the way, this comes from Glittering Toe 9674 on the r/comfortlevelpod. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
And OP says he's paid off the boat, so normal maintenance cost is minimal year to year. This year, though, he's having to fix a couple of things, which has ended in him spending about $800 in total for repairs. He originally told me $300 for the total cost, so I'd agree to contribute $150. He did not realize the full cost of the special tools he'd had to buy in addition to the kit, though, as well as the tire on the boat trailer blew, so that $800 cost includes 2 new tires as well. He also mentioned one wheel needs a new bearing, which makes me think he expects me to help with that too. I would be pulling money out of my savings, which are already tight, to cover the new $400 cost of repairs. I also don't know that I fully agree with being on the hook for repairs to a boat I didn't buy and have nothing to gain from when he eventually sells it. Agreed. Pausing. My mom always says that when people buy a boat, the best day of their life is when they sell that boat.
Yeah, a boat's like a hole that you just throw money into.
That's on him. He bought the boat, and yes, you guys are like enjoying the perks of the boat, but that's what happens when you're the owner of the boat. You got to deal with all of the costs of the boat, and it's great that you're helping with gas, which you should be, and snacks and food and stuff. And OP even agreed to help with $150.
That's just the reality of being a boner.
That would be okay. Crazy.
A boat owner.
Yep, got it.
Bowner.
It's spelled B-O-W-N-E-R.
Surly Sunshine has an excellent point. It would be like if I was, I'm driving around a bunch of people, and then I'm like, yeah, hey, can you help me with like car maintenance? That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I just gotta replace my transmission. So could you have like, $2,000 with me real quick?
We could split that. We could split that right down the middle, right, babe? Right, babe?
Yeah. If you
like
cannot
my car,
afford,
babe, right?
Right.
Right, babe?
In terms of our financial situation, we both make around the same amount, with him making slightly more than I do, and split our shared living expenses 50-50. Our expenses are about the same too, although his only match mine because of his toys. Boat, snowmobile, truck, etc. He's got too many toys. He's got to sell some of those toys. Whereas mine used to be higher than his because of my student loans. I'm inclined to give him the $150 to appease him this time around, but not contribute to future repairs, and as a compromise start covering the full cost of gas in future seasons. I do absolutely love our time on the boat, but honestly don't even know if I should really be paying all of the gas either. You shouldn't be paying for all of it, but you should be contributing to the gas.
A little bit here and there. Couldn't hurt,
This feels like something that was his choice, but he now wants me to contribute half because of unexpected costly repairs. Am I the a-hole? And edit, thank you all for your input. This is definitely the clarity I needed to make sure I was approaching this in a reasonable way. I plan to talk to him about this tonight, and we'll circle back with an update tomorrow. Comment 1. Info, do you ever use the boat without him? You say it's his boat, but between the lines, he might think that you share ownership, even not on paper. I would clear this up with him before paying anything. As someone who doesn't really subscribe to the ideal of legal marriage, a 6-year relationship would imply more shared expenses for me than you or other commoners are describing. I bought my ex new tires for his car after we had been together for 8 years but not married. I don't regret helping anyone, but again, this is stuff you need to communicate with him about, not really the internet, not the a-hole in your world, but in his and possibly mine. I would kind of think you're the a-hole. But I also understand not wanting to drain your savings on a non-essential. OP says, this is where I was waffling. Because while I don't use the boat without him, he never uses the boat without me. If he does, it's because I'm working, but it's very rare. It's something we do together and has kind of become part of our identity as the boat couple. We both love the water, and as very outdoorsy people, this has become something that we've bonded strongly over. We're also people who don't subscribe to the idea of legal marriage and have had many convos over how to marry without the heavy government involvement, domestic partnerships, etc. I didn't realize they were dating. I don't know if that changes anything for me, but I just didn't realize it. It's an area we're still trying to figure out, but is on pause because we're in the middle of saving money for a house. Separate savings that won't affect my personal savings. So it's a bit of a hard dance between we're in a committed relationship with a promise to marry, however that looks for us, but the boat isn't mine and wasn't my decision. So trying to make the best choice that protects me and my finances, but also makes him feel like I'm contributing in a way that feels equal to the joy I get out of his boat. Comment 2, not the a-hole, you don't owe him any money for repairs, and at most you should only contribute 50% of gas if he contributes 50% of food and drinks. You don't own the boat, it's not your responsibility for any financial cost involved in maintaining or repairing it. Like you said, you won't get any monetary comeback if he sells it, because it's legally only his. It's like with cars. You don't go paying to repair a partner's car just because you're sometimes a passenger in their car. He decided to buy the boat. He owns the boat. You can either go halves on gas and food equally, but that's all you'd be morally expected to pay. Just like his friends only contribute towards fuel or food because they don't own the boat either. There's no difference between you and his friends using his boat to go out together, but he's not asking them to contribute to repairs, so why would you be expected to? Don't let him take advantage of you. If you want to give the £150 you mentioned, you can if you want, but make it clear you won't be paying any further contributions towards repairs in the future. You don't owe him anything towards repairs. If he can't afford the repairs he needs, sell the boat. And there is an update, but yeah. Any other thoughts?
Catch-22, when the boat needs repairs, you can't really sell it.
That's true. That's true. There's a little bit more to this. There's an update, folks. There's a lot more to the story.
The boat incident. There's got to be a fun name for this story. Like, remember the boat?
The boys in the boat.
Boys in
Remember the boat.
But I think that I think that it is, I mean, it's relevant information that you guys are together and have been together for a while. But I do think that the car analogy is a really good point. It's like you wouldn't expect your partner, who you're not married to, especially, to pay for your boat.
That really
or
is
your
like
car.
the big thing here is y'all aren't married.
Yeah.
You didn't
You're
co-sign
not
on the
financially
boat.
You're not financially
you didn't
tied
push
together.
him to buy the boat. There was no agreement beforehand that you would be paying for this. It's kind of just lame of him to expect you to pay for it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, hey, could you maybe help me pay for half of these and I'll pay you back? He's like,
Exactly.
well, it would just make sense if you did this because it's
It's
only
the
fair.
expectation.
It's like, what?
Mm-hmm. And also, this expectation was not set before. It was just kind of like after the fact. But there is an update, folks. Oh, no. A few of you mentioned that he might be seeing the boat as something that's ours, not just his. And it turns out you were right. He stated that as a couple who've been together for almost 7 years, he didn't view the boat as his, but ours. Even though I'm not on the title and didn't buy the boat, he'd only plan on selling it to use as a down payment for when we buy a boat together, which we have talked about previously as a down-the-road goal when we are both financially ready, or if we needed to, sell it to put the money towards buying the house, since we're in a rent-to-own situation. Obviously, we're not planning on buying a bigger boat anytime soon, but where he was coming from makes more sense to me knowing he was viewing the boat as a shared asset, not something he's going to sell for his personal gain. I, of course, still did not like the way he had originally approached the conversation, as though he expected me to help contribute, even though we'd never discussed me helping with repairs before. He understood the disconnect and was able to see why I felt caught off guard, and we agreed that moving forward he will discuss any big purchases with me before doing anything to make sure we're both on the same page. We've encountered situations like this in the past, but the lines have always been clearer, as there are obvious areas where we'd both be contributing financially, like buying things for the house we both live in or our pets. So with all of that being said, I have agreed to pay half of all routine maintenance costs that the boat requires annually, but will not be paying for any kind of boat repairs, so I'm helping with gas, oil changes, slip fees if we decide to do that, etc. We've written these out so I know exactly what I'm committing to financially, and also outlined that he won't be selling the boat down the road simply for personal financial gain, but only to put towards our shared interests.
Well, yeah, I think if you sell the boat, half of the profit of the boat sale is yours.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm glad that they're like figuring all of this out now. You know, they're writing it down, getting it all hammered out, all the
Well, I
details
don't think they're
hammered
doing
out.
that. I think
not
from the
writing it
sounds
down?
of
I
it
thought-
that it's no. I mean they are writing it down, but I don't think that OP is getting half of the boat profits.
No. Yeah. But I do think it's good that they're putting it all down. I'm fully aware that there's nothing stopping him from selling it whenever he wants, but I've ensured that the money I'm committing to each boat season is equal to what I get out of going out all of the time. So in the worst case scenario where he broke this agreement, I wouldn't feel cheated out of anything financially, although I'd obviously be upset for a whole separate set of reasons. I've also paid him the $150 I originally agreed to as well, because even though he said the money really doesn't matter to him, he has no problem covering the full cost. It was more of an assumption on his end that I'd be pitching in, which, stop that. No assuming financial things. Let's talk it out. Be clear. I'm not someone to go back on my word. By the way, you guys shouldn't go back on your word about listening to full episodes of stories just like this.
Yeah, you promised. We heard you.
Promised. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
You got a nice boat.
You got a nice boat.
Hey, nice boat.
Got a nice boat.
Nice boat.
And you
Make sure you always tell him how nice the boat is.
Mm-hmm. Because he liked that boat.
Because it's y'all's boat now.
Mm-hmm. You got shared boat assets.
Say, we've got such a nice boat. We love this boat.
Yeah.
Our
really hammer
boat-
that in.
Our boat, so good.
See when he breaks.
I love being a boater.
But there's a little bit left to this story. All in all, it was a really good learning experience for both of us, especially because finances are a big pain point for me. My ability to feel secure and safe is directly linked to finances and always being able to take care of myself independently. So him dropping this on me the way that he did definitely caused a spiral with me thinking it was my worst nightmare coming true. Him thinking I'm a user, that I owe him, etc. So it was relieving to hear him explain this wasn't a big deal to him, how he viewed the boat as a shared asset, and that if this was going to be a burden to me, not to worry about it. Overall, feeling a lot better and no longer afraid that I'm a freeloading cockroach. And that's the end of that story, folks.
A freeloading
Communication.
cockroach.
Communication, folks.
I'm not liking that automatic assumption that you're a freeloading cockroach, though.
Yeah,
Not
you got to work
great.
on that. That's communication. Say like, why was that your first thought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are freeloading cockroaches without the roach part.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Sure.
Just gearing people up for that
Sure.
stream next week.
Oh, no, it's this week. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
My ex took me to court, and I don't even know why.
you're under arrest.
What did I do?
I don't know.
Okay. Trigger warning, verbal abuse. I, 28 male, started a relationship with Anna, 28 female, the mother of my daughters, at the age of 16, and had our first daughter at 17.
Ooh.
That is not the ideal time.
No.
She was pretty emotionally unstable, and I was a doormat that wanted to protect her and make all of her dreams come true, even if I got hurt. By the way, this comes from user throwaway TA123 on the Comfort Level Pod subreddit, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And OP says, our time together was a dangerous roller coaster in which her mother would verbally abuse me and Anna would change her mind on being together or not based on her mother's mood. We went on and off, tried to date other people, but ended up getting back together at 18 and had our second daughter at 19.
It doesn't.
Still not a great
Ooh.
time to do that.
Ooh, yeah. It doesn't really feel like there's a lot of learning done. Ooh,
Yeah,
That's
can
tough.
we learn what protection is?
yeah.
Can we learn what that is? Thank you. Anna was not acting like herself during these years. She was not the girl I fell in love with.
Yeah, because she's a teenager dealing with pregnancy and children.
As you go through a lot of change at that time already.
Yeah.
but this is turbo change. She was not the girl I fell in love with, but I still stayed because nobody was helping her with her mental health. Her mother would act as if it was just a phase, and her father loves to avoid everything that will make him fight with his wife. 2 years later, Anna cheated on me with an ex, and it hurt a lot because we were living at the time with her parents.
Oh!
With all the... What?
You were living with your parents and you got cheated on?
Cheated on while living with her parents.
That's rough. Parents seem like pretty awful people too, so
Doesn't seem like a great spot.
no.
Okay, we were living with her parents, and with all the verbal abuse from her mother, we moved out to my parents' home because we were looking for a rental near a good school. I never said or told anyone about the cheating. I broke up with her, but my parents told me not to bother coming back home without my whole family.
Dang. Jeez. No one is great in this. Like your whole families are really toxic.
Sounds very like a very traditional thing to think.
Yeah.
But also, I'd probably say something similar if I didn't know you were cheated on. Anna tried to tell my mother how I was taking the girls with me, since she was clearly not in her right mind, but Mom wouldn't listen and said that since we weren't together, they could stop paying my tuition. They only did it to shut Anna's mother up about me being a irresponsible man, even though I had a job while studying and paid for our stuff. Is that a censor for unemployed?
No, I don't think so.
What is that? I'm so confused. Anna and I made a deal about pretending to be a couple so we could finish our careers. The first week was a nightmare, and I ended up unblocking and texting Elsa, 26 female, my ex-best friend, and my ex about wanting to get our friendship back.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this is messy, messy, messy.
We used to talk about everything, even after our breakup, but she hated Anna, and I blocked her after a fight they both had. Elsa texted me back, I should have never opened my door to you. If you keep pestering me, I will call the cops. I blocked her again because I could only handle one crazy ex at a time. For a little bit of context about Elsa, we broke up because after sleeping together, she would call every day at any hour during the night. My phone, my house, my parents. It didn't matter if I was asleep. I needed to respond and send her a picture to confirm that I was where I told her.
Yikes.
So
How
she
did you
became the
get-
FBI.
That's crazy. I mean, like, it really sucks. OP went from this, like, very, way too fast relationship with his current girlfriend that, when they were dating at 16, and then breaks up, I guess, at 18, gets into this relationship with a crazy person, and then gets back. Like, it doesn't just, none of these relationships are very good.
Family reunion. My parents needed to be in the photo. With friends, only males, or I needed to leave and had to call her as soon as I got home. Elsa would text my female friends to tell them about how I was a womanizer and to please text her in case I was doing something suspicious. You wanted to get your friendship back with this person?
Why? OP, you're making not great decisions, but also you're very young and clearly had to, or were expected to mature at a very young age, and you're not there yet.
After 4 months together, I ended it, and at first, she went crazy about it and then back to being normal. So when she texted me that, I just blocked her again. I know I should be single, and my daughters deserve better parents. Last year, my father passed away, and I had episodes where I was waiting for him for breakfast, where I was still with Elsa, where I was barely starting university, and some where I would scream at Anna when our girls were at school about how she ruined my life. She was my rock. She helped me heal, and somehow she went from crazy Anna to the Anna I was once in love with, but I was already broken and full of resentment, so I went to therapy. Anna doesn't remember most of our time together, good or bad. Her trauma with the birth of our oldest, how she would try to hurt herself, our baby's milestones, videos she made for them. During this period, I noticed that I had sent Elsa a text, hope you had a great day. I wish we could talk again to clear the air. I think I did it in one of my episodes. I don't know. I just ignored it since she was blocked again. We moved into a nice apartment and we're finally free from each other's family drama. But I messed up everything we've been building together ever since living alone with our little family. Our girls hated living with their grandparents because of her mother. So living together, just us, gave them the peace we were looking for. Unlike our romantic soap opera, we can actually co-parent pretty well. And both girls are sweet little fighters. Our oldest has won some local karate tournaments,
Heck
while
yeah.
our youngest is in a choir because she loves singing and wants to be better at it.
Heck yeah.
We put them in therapy, but got told that they're fine, and we shouldn't assume that since we're not okay, they're not okay.
Dang, okay.
So,
Cool.
good grades, good activities, family outings, dates with my girls. Anna got her degree. It's not about pretending anymore. We are a more stable and happy family. I told Anna about starting as friends again and see where this all goes. Thing is, Elsa sued me.
I forgot the title. Oh, we were going through so much. I forgot the title.
And again, it's why do we want to reconnect with this person
That's
who was
suing
not
you.
good
Well,
for us?
it seems like OP's like, I don't even remember asking to reconnect. Like, it was in this, clearly OP has, gone through a lot of trauma and seemingly has
Yeah,
these.
but no, OP's like, I'm telling Anna about starting as friends again and see where this all
telling
goes.
Anna. Like, he's saying, because I don't think they're together officially again. I think they've been co-parenting, and I think he's saying to Anna, I want us to start as friends again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The thing is, Elsa sued me. My mother just called crying a few hours ago about some papers for me and how Elsa is accusing me of burgasment and saying that I'm using international numbers to send her threats via voicemail and texts. I'm calling my cousin, who's a lawyer, to see what I can do, and I will talk with Anna after that. And there
That
is an
seems like you
update.
could pretty easily prove that you're not sending her international phone calls.
Plot twist. He's been doing that
You just
the
been
whole
blacking
time.
out.
He's been doing that in a fugue state.
Hope not.
Every time he's
Hope
been
not.
sending texts with international numbers.
Now I'm like, maybe because he didn't even remember texting her.
Yeah, apparently.
Uh-oh.
Fugue state.
Well, then I guess you can plead like an insanity case.
Could be.
Maybe.
Now I'm scared.
I know I only got 2 comments on my first post, but at this point, I think I'm just doing it to vent. As one of them said, my cousin reassured me that after reading the papers my mother showed him, Elsa, 24 female, only filed, but never showed any evidence, not even fake ones, or at least the text that I sent. She was being cited to present everything she had on me at the end of this month for the pesterment claim. I was on my way home trying to think of how to tell Anna, 28 female. She was sitting on the sofa looking at her phone and asked if I needed to tell her anything because my mother had just called her since I wasn't responding to her calls. My mind went blank and I just started crying, asking for forgiveness. Her face didn't show any emotion and she just got her laptop out. She started searching about Elsa, and with a few clicks, Anna found out how Elsa was in a happy, long-term relationship with a guy working for the social media department of national health in our country. Her mother had passed away the year I asked to clear the air, which could explain her text. Since her mother hated our relationship, and knowing her, she loves to be perfect, and us together was the only thing she disappointed her mom on. Anna wanted to call her boyfriend since his number was on LinkedIn, but I stopped her because just as Elsa didn't have any proof of what she claims, neither do we have a thing. So it's more of a she said, he said, and I don't think he will believe strangers. Till now, there is no emotion in her face, and I hated myself for it.
In Anna's face? Like when he's telling her all of this?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes the English major, sometimes the syntax in this story just like goes all over the place. I'm not sure who
talking about Anna.
Which people are being talked about.
I think he's telling Anna that he's being sued by Elsa.
Till now, there's no emotion in her face, and I hated myself for it. The day of the first post, we had just went out to a date,
this is Anna.
And she was showing me, very excited, about how a friend invited us to watch his student's final exam. He teaches acting and was trying to blend projected images, play with shadows, and little to no items. It was amazing, and I'm not exactly into that. I want to see her smile again, but she's having some health issues, so maybe I'm overthinking it, and she needs another appointment with a doctor rather than me being a mess all over her. I'm starting therapy next Friday. That's the only thing that got her to smile for a few seconds. I have a bad history with psychiatrists. When I was 12 years old, one of my 2 sisters got with a guy that seemed off to me and would make weird comments about everything in general, so I wasn't really interested in spending time with them.
Wait, I'm sorry. Got with a guy who was a psychiatrist?
Not sure. By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app, iHeartRadio perhaps, and search OK Storytime, where you can listen to our entire archive of stories just like this.
It's true.
Maybe even a little easier to follow than this one.
Well, anyway, OP, I think going to therapy, great move. And I think, like Anna probably isn't that excited to hear that you're being sued by your ex while you guys are trying to have a, relationship again. So give her some grace on that. And it seems like you guys are doing a great job with your kids. So give yourself some credit for that.
I think just completely forget about Elsa.
Yes. I mean, it seems like her suit has literally is no grounds.
Yeah.
No bones on that suit.
Give her a cold shoulder. The cold never bother her anyway. It's fine.
There you go. And there you go.
And there it is, folks. All right, let's finish this story.
Woo.
When I was 12 years old, one of my 2 sisters got with a guy that seemed off to me and would make weird comments about everything in general, so I wasn't really interested in spending time with them. She was frustrated because we used to be very close and had no other wonderful idea but to push my parents to make me meet with the guy's cousin, who was a psychiatrist, and told me to start taking medication as I looked like a troubled teen. He was concerned over how I was not okay because there was no real reason over why I disliked the man, and my parents, who loved him at the time, started forcing me to take some pills to the point of being OD'd because there was no real changes for them.
And that's when you go to the police and get them arrested for child endangerment? That's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
How would they even, if those are prescription, how are they doing that? Because that's so illegal.
I don't know.
You can't just get prescribed pills because you don't like a guy. They're like, oh, he doesn't like that guy, but that guy's great.
Yeah, they went to a psychiatrist, and
If
psychiatrist was like, "You look
Dakota
troubled.
Was
Take these."
if Dakota went to that psychiatrist, you'd be prescribed pills left and right, because all the people you dislike.
Yeah, like Orlando Bloom.
They'd be
Top
like, "Why
of the
don't you
list.
like Orlando Bloom?"
Orlando Bloom.
And you'd be like, "I hate him," and they'd be like, "But he seems like such a great
because
guy."
he took it from me. He
Yeah.
took the easiest career in Hollywood away from me.
Legolas.
I just simply wasn't born Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, if you were born Orlando Bloom, this would be such a different
If
story.
I was born Orlando Bloom, I'd love that guy.
what a great
that
guy
is-
to be.
What a
Orlando Bloom.
what a callback that was.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
No, my sister didn't end the relationship, and they're not so happily married till now. So me going to therapy is a big step of seeking help, though I don't understand why she's out to get me if she's supposed to be so happy and successful. And
Oh,
that
Elsa.
is the end
Elsa seems a little crazy.
of that story. Yeah, I don't know.
She's like calling you all the time when you guys were dating.
Yeah.
Clearly she's a little strange.
Don't concern yourself with
As long,
Elsa,
yeah.
or I'll get you back
Yes.
with that psychiatrist that your sister's boyfriend's
Please don't
cousin.
do that. Yikes.
I'll get you back on there.